If you really knew me, you just learned some things about me, but if you really knew me, you would know that I really am a hugger. If you really knew me, you would also know that I am a crier. And who said that? Yeah. All right, there's two of us. If you really knew me, you would also know that I cried during the movie Sing 2. Anybody see Sing 2? You laugh, but there's a very powerful scene toward the end of the movie. I can't think about it too long. I'm just going to keep moving here. If you really knew me, you would know that I grew my first mullet when I was in the 5th grade. It was a few-year process there. And yes, it is back. This is like the corporate mullet. I don't know if you can tell, but it is longer. It's short. Okay. Well, come up to me later. You can, see how short it is on the sides. If you really knew me, you would know that I spent way too much time trying to figure out if I should marry my wife. She knew within the first 3 weeks of us dating, she said that she wanted to marry me and she was just going to wait for me to figure it out. And the reason, I'm going to get emotional, the reason why it took me so long to figure it out is because I didn't, I should just start talking about the Metaverse in video right now. My parents, if you really knew me, you would know that my parents got divorced when I was going into 7th grade. And I did not want to get divorced myself. So it was a long period of me just really not wanting to screw up. And eventually I did make the best decision of my life, which was to say, yes, I finally am on the same page as you. Let's get married. And we did that almost 19 years later. If you really knew me, you would know that I didn't have a good relationship with my dad growing up. You would know that I lived with him after my parents got divorced, and I was in 7th grade, 8th grade, all the way through high school. Became a little rock star in middle school and high school. Thought I was too cool for school, too cool to have a relationship with my dad. And if you really knew me, you would know that. Can we cut the video later, just these pauses of me trying not to break down? I have a therapist. I'm okay, you guys. It's really for those of you who don't know me, my wife's gonna be what did you talk about? Oh gosh, how many times did you cry? It's fine. But if you really knew me, you would you would know that my relationship with my dad got really good, but it was Thank you. He got really sick after my wife and I got married. And when he got sick, we really got really close and said, hey, all of the things, talking about the weather and the tigers and the things that didn't really matter, we said, let's talk about the most important things in life. And so thank you for letting me thank you for being my therapist today. Yep, cool, thank you. Okay, I think I'm good now. But I think one of the things that makes me the most sad is knowing that how proud my dad would be, knowing that I was on stage sharing things from my heart, knowing that I have a business. I didn't have a business before he passed, and I didn't have kids, and so there are a lot of things in my life today that make me sad. But I'm probably the happiest person in this room. I know the tears might be disguising, but also, if you really knew me, you would also know that you might be thinking man, this guy, wow, he's super good looking, he seems really funny, very witty, obviously, charismatic, just all these things. He's got all this stuff going for him. If you're not thinking that yet, you will. But you will also probably think this guy is somewhat irreverent and kind of a jerk, because the video I'm about to show you, this is a video of my friend. He is the pastor of the church that we go to. He's probably like 250 pounds, is the strongest man you will ever meet. He's like 3 wide of me. And just to set the video up, he did give me permission to use this. It is incredibly embarrassing of him. And I might have to play it twice because it's so funny. Let's see if this works. Okay, that's Jeremiah. His eyes are closed, and so are everybody else's on the stage, okay? So we got audio. This morning, Father, they have reflected that you want to shine this light. Your name. Okay, let's just play it one more time, because it's so good. This morning, Father, they have reflected that you want to shine this light. Your name. Okay, that was during a church service. He actually didn't swear. He said, holy cow, and I'm so sorry. He was apologizing. He broke his foot in 6 places. So, yes, I am sentimental. I cry at anything, but I also laugh really hard at the expense of other people sometimes. So I'm not that great. So if you really knew me, you would know that 17 years ago, I started a video production company, and I used to not have a beard. And this is a video that just kind of gives you a glimpse of our company. So let's see if this works. Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm just going to give you the Insta family. My wife is just a babe. My kids they're the best. But, I've got a 15-year-old son. Please pray for me. I have 2 daughters that are gorgeous. They're the best, but also it's not always super easy. As any parents, it's, all right, it's not easy. Yeah, okay, I'm alone. That's cool. These are just some of the shots. There's my team, our studio. 17 years ago, I was working in a small Christian college, and I'd convinced them to buy me a laptop and a video camera, and I got to start making videos to promote the work and the things that we were doing, the events that we were hosting at the college. And shortly thereafter, I just said, I have to do this work all the time. Like, telling stories for me just became like this thing that I believe so much that every person has a story, and as I've gotten a chance to work with businesses and believe that every founder has a story. There's a reason in every single one of you, like why you started the thing that you start, or why you work where you work. And for me to be able to help unpack that and to create and craft a video in a concise way that helps people understand your heart and your soul behind what you do really becomes your differentiator. So 6 years ago, I started a podcast, and I started coaching and educating other filmmakers to help them on the business side of running a business. And for me, it's one of my greatest passions. I love that I get to have a studio and make videos for clients, but also that I get to help other business owners, other filmmakers and videographers charge what they're worth and follow their own passions in this work. Some of our clients, total bragging here, but I've had opportunity to go all over the world and do some really cool stuff, be in places that I definitely shouldn't be in, but I've really feel honored to have been able to partner with some of the people that we've partnered with. My goal today is to inspire you to start using simple video. So you might see, like, Ryan, your stuff is amazing. I love what Phil was saying. Like, I think that in most of our pockets and purses, we all have this device that shoots HD, 4K, soon to be 6K, 8K. It's insane what we have at our disposal. So my goal is to inspire you to start using simple video to help others achieve transformation through the work that you do without you needing to be a Hollywood filmmaker. My biggest mistake, I was a couple of years into my business, and I really wanted to start educating. I was being invited to go on stage and share with other filmmakers. I was doing workshops, and I really wanted to start making videos and create content online. I had some friends that were in the space that were doing this as well, and they were really good. Their branding was really good. Their filmmaking was really good. I was listening to how they were coaching. They were leading webinars, and I got cold feet. And I just said, okay. I didn't want to compete with them. I'm like, they're already doing this. Like, why do I need to enter this space too? I don't want to. It's just their stuff is going to be better than mine. One of the biggest, raise your hand if you know what imposter syndrome is, and keep your hand up if you have experienced imposter syndrome. 2 hands, yeah, that's how I feel. If I had 3, I'd be like this. Even coming to this event, and I'm like, all these people are gonna be like way smarter, way better. It's just like, I just can't, and then having this conversation with myself, like, no, I have something to offer. And so my encouragement to myself 10 years ago was like, Ryan, even if you're 1 step ahead of somebody else, you have something to offer somebody else. And that's where every single one of us are at today. So I know there are a lot of excuses why people don't do video. Because you don't have a mullet and you're not going to look as good as I do. Because you have an imperfection, or you have something that you're just like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. I'm not as good as so-and-so. It doesn't matter, because what I was told by a coach of mine, he said, Ryan, do you really believe that you have something to offer? Do you think that you can help people with your message, whether it's through video or in person or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I'm so passionate about video, and I'm so passionate about empowering other people to do this. And he's like, every day that you go without launching this YouTube channel, or without launching this course, or without launching the thing that you want to be the driver for this, you are doing a disservice to the 1 person, or to the 100 people, or to the thousands of people that could benefit from your message. So I just hope that you can be encouraged. I don't know if imposter syndrome ever ends. I've achieved some certain milestones in my career, but every time I've got a new goal or something else that I'm trying to achieve, I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. It's not going to be better. I'm just going to be another voice in the thing, and it doesn't matter, because every voice matters. Every gift that you have matters, and I just want to encourage you along with myself. Maybe that's more like for me to say, Ryan, just keep pushing forward, get over your own imposter syndrome, and everything will be great. Okay, will you guys do that with me and just agree to kind of just try to overcome imposter syndrome with me? Just humor me and say, yes, we will. Okay, great. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's see. My big confession is I don't tell Jessica this. She's not in here, right? Okay, the Metaverse, I don't know much about it. She gave me the title, and I said, can I talk about something else? She's like, talk about whatever you want. And then I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to try to dive in. So I've been listening to podcasts and watching videos, and even this morning, I'm just learning so much about the Metaverse. And partly, we're kind of in the Metaverse. We're doing things and the Metaverse is going to continue to grow. But what I do know is that the way that we market, the way that we buy things, the way that we buy things might change in the Metaverse. You're going to be doing it like this maybe sometimes. That's like virtual reality or something like that. That's what you do. Okay. But why we buy things, I don't think that that's going to change. And I think that through video, there are things that if you do them today, they will work for you today. Some of the things I'm going to go over. In 10 years from now, I think some of those things, maybe all of them, will still work. Video's been around for a long time, and the things that it can do, whether we're watching it on, goggles that do this or without them, the power is still there in video. All right? Oh, yeah, regardless of what universe, multiverse, or metaverse we live in, here's what will always be true. We'll always want to spend our money on brands and businesses that we know, like, and trust. Video can create emotional connections. It can accelerate meaningful connections. I mean, we were all went from like never having a Zoom call, most of us 2 years ago, to like that's like what most of our days were like. But like, man, it's weird for me to have just a phone call with somebody now. Like I sort of like want to just like real quick like see if it's somebody that I'm meeting for the first time. I prefer to see them, and seeing somebody that just accelerates, that builds trust so much faster than hearing somebody's voice or seeing somebody's email. Video can allow you to communicate so much more concisely. That short little promo that I shared with you, they probably asked me the question like, Ryan, why did you start Tell Studios? And I probably talked for like 8 minutes about, and same thing with this talk. Like these guys could probably edit this whole talk down to like 90 seconds, and you're gonna be like, wow, that was really punchy and really good. Why did he take 30 minutes to tell us all that stuff? Also, video can help buy you back time. This is like one of my favorite things. Like, video works while you sleep. If you have video positioned correctly on your website or on your social, there are things, you don't get a video just because your competitor has a video. You get a video so that people can know you, so that they can learn to trust you, so that you don't have to do your sales pitch while on a phone call. They can learn about your process watching your video. You can get so much of your time back if you do the right kinds of video. Okay, this video, I don't know. Oh, this is, I'm going to skip this video. It's really good, but let's see. 3 videos that you can create right now, even if you only had your iPhone. Okay, so these are the 3 videos that when a client comes to us, they might have an idea for what they want, but I say, okay, let's ask a lot of questions. Let's figure out what their goals are. We've got stories. We've got capabilities and social content. These are the 3. So similar to what Phil was saying earlier, don't be overwhelmed. I'm going to share a bunch of like ideas, and then I just want you to the only thing I want you to do is say like, ooh, that one right there, I could do that one. That one gets me excited. So I'm going to share a bunch. I'm not telling you to do them all. I think that would be a mistake if you tried to do them all. I'm going to share that at the end. So you'll get my slides and all that stuff. Okay, so the first one that we're going to cover is stories. This is the first story that you can share is your story. This is your why. This is your differentiator. You're going to be able to download my slides, and these are questions that if you were to set up just your iPhone, talk into your iPhone and ask yourself these questions, how you got into this work. Why did you get into this work? What was the light bulb moment that you realized that this was the work that you wanted to do? Describe your values. What do you love about your work? When you can talk about these things, this becomes your differentiator. So when there's a competitor down the street and somebody's looking at hiring you and hiring them, you guys are kind of priced the same, all of the things are roughly the same. You want to connect with the people. You want people to hire you that get you, that understand you. And the more goofy you can be, like I know me being on the stage, some people are going to be like, I would never work with that guy. But I know there may be one person in this room that's like, I like this guy. He's kind of weird, pretty goofy, but he gets it. Thank you, Crystal. And that's the whole point that video can do. It can accelerate that timeline of people figuring out who you really are. And your story is that thing that can help them learn that really, really fast. The other kind of story are your client stories. So when you're getting testimonials from your clients, you want them to talk about their transformation. So don't just ask somebody, hey, can you give me a testimonial? Or whatever that testimonial was. Tell me, what was it like? What was your life like before working with us? And what is it like now? When you can ask people that and get them to talk about that, then it's not about like, oh, Ryan, he's great. His team is awesome. They do great work. I don't care about those kind of testimonials. Those are nice things for me to hear, but those aren't going to help a potential client hire me. If they can see that I helped a client of ours get a transformation, I help them buy back their time, I help them land their biggest client ever, that's the thing that a new client for me is going to be excited about. Okay, does that make sense? And my slides just disappeared. Okay, second kind of video are capabilities. And this is capabilities, these are the things like about your business. So this could be on the front page of your website. These are the frequently asked questions when somebody calls you on a sales call, and you always say, like, this is your script, these are the things. Come up with a list of like 5 to 10 frequently asked questions that you always get asked, and just shoot like short, punchy videos answering those questions. Throw them in an FAQ section, or talk about like, what do people get when they hire you, or tell us, when did the business start? Those are neat things to know, but those are very different than your story, right? So people want to know your story, but also like, what do we get when we work with you? And then the third kind of video, this is social content. I like to call this behind the scenes stuff. This is the process of, the making of. These, like if you have a social media account, these are the things that would go here. Obviously, if you have your story, you can put it on social. If you have a capabilities video, you can put it on your social. But also, we make these amazing videos that people spend tens of thousands of dollars hiring us to do. We post them on social, and they might get a handful of views, some likes. But then we post some photos of us on set, or a video of us on set working on this production that we're just like, with our iPhone, and we get tons of engagement. People love to be drawn in. They love to feel a part of the process. They love coming behind the scenes and like, how do you make the thing that you make? How do you do the thing that you do? Show me your team. Show me that you're real, because that's what people want. They want connection. They want to feel a part of a community. And if you only are ever putting your best foot forward, that you're doing a disservice for your ideal audience. So, question is, which one of these resonate the most with you? Stories, whether that's your story or your clients. If you're like, man, I would never tell my story, that's okay. But your clients, man, that's a really good one. Or capabilities. If you're like, man, I could get in front of a camera and talk about my, top 10 things that people need to know before they hire us, or top reasons why they should hire us, or what they're going to get when they hire us. Or social content. If you get fired up about posting on social, showing behind the scenes. So I want you to think through and pick one of these. You don't have to do this right now. And then this is how you're going to do these videos. You could literally leave the conference today, 5 o'clock or whatever, go outside and start making this. Having something like this is better than not having it at all. Doing it now, making it go ugly early is one of my favorite sayings. Make it ugly right now, but at least put it out there so people can start engaging with you and your personality. You can download my guide. That's the first step. I'll show that to you in a second. Set a time to outline the thing that you're going to do. So if it's a story, if you're going to do an interview with somebody, pick a day to film, put it in your calendar, say, I'm going to shoot this day, and then pick a day to edit. So it doesn't just stop with like, I shot it, when am I going to be able to edit it? Set a date to edit it, or to give it to somebody else to edit, and then finally share it with your audience. That's me. If you grab that QR code, you can get my slides. I've also have some other links where you can download some other resources that will be helpful. Inexpensive gear, like if you need to know like what light should you get or what mic should you get. I've got different levels of really inexpensive stuff to really expensive stuff. I would love to meet you, talk with you, answer any questions that you have about video or about my mullet. Thank you so much for your time. Jessica, thank you for having me. Good night, New York. Hey, Lima. Yeah.